All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Tell your wife this sake sucks. Quite nice. For a Niigata sake.
Yeah.
It's better than the other ones I got.
You know, there's an interesting flavor to it. This tastes more like distilled alcohol.
Yeah, this is actually, so this is very, very like Niigata style.
Yeah.
This is like Niigata sake.
Yeah. Like this really wow. This has got such a unique flavor compared to the ones we've gotten before.
Yeah, so last time when we got Niigata sake, we got Kubota, which is the one that everyone gets. And I was actually kind of disappointed with that. I can say that.
One was, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, it's the thing that everyone says is good is actually not that good. It's just everyone says it's good.
Yeah.
But this one really does kind of scream Niigata. They call it, what is it, like karakuchi tande or something like that, which is like a soft karakuchi.
I definitely feel the karakuchi in this. Like it's got like a very distinct flavor.
Yeah, but it's not like a really strong bite kind of.
No,
it's smooth, but it's got that.
If you compare it to like whiskey, because whiskey is like kind of what I imagine when you're talking about something that's just got like an immediate like you said, bite to it.
Mm-hmm.
This is still it's like drinking chocolate without the sweetness. Yeah, in terms of consistency.
Yeah,
but then it has that kind of bitterness that you kind of expect from like a karakuchi.
Yeah, right. Right.
Sake.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways,
this is good. So what are we talking about today,
man? We are talking about the presidential election.
And to be honest, the only reason I want to talk about this is because it's good for our channel. Because
I mean,
because to be honest, I try to stay away from the presidential elections as much as possible.
Oh my God, it's so crazy right now. So I mean, we were talking about this during lunch, but like there was another assassination attempt on Trump this week.
Yeah. So we're filming this on September 20th.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So kind of jumping in, I mean, where do we even start with this?
Yeah, well, so let me explain why I actually don't want to talk about this.
Okay.
It's because whenever I think about particularly this year's election, it just makes me sad thinking about the state of America that we've lowered ourselves to this level.
Yeah. You know, it's pretty crazy. I don't know if there's elections like this anywhere else in the world.
Mm-hmm.
There probably is. Mm-hmm. I've heard that like Indian elections can be pretty like vitriolic.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like high emotions.
Vitriolic. That's a $4 word right there.
Yeah. Very, very high spirited and emotional with people having strong positions.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you compare it to like the elections here in Japan,
dude, the elections. So the elections in Japan are like straight out of the 70s.
It feels that way.
It was it was so funny because I remember I was in like a clinic or something going to go see the doctor, and they had the elections of something. This is like a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever. Sure. And they had the elections of something. And I really liked how they did it. It was very democratic, where even if you didn't have that many votes, you were able to go in front of the camera and state who you are and what your positions are. Yeah. And I just remember there was this one lady, I forget what party she was, but she just like sung a song. Like she didn't even say anything. She just like sung a song that I guess explained what her party was.
Okay.
But it was just like so weird because it was, you know, and it was funny because the background, it was like a pale purple background, kind of like what you'd expect out of the 70s or something like that. And it's just, it was like a time warp.
So yeah, American elections are not that.
They're not that.
I feel like things really turned when Obama got elected. Yeah. And I don't think this really has anything to do with Obama, but like his president,
like 2008, 2009.
Yeah, his presidential election, specifically against with John McCain. Yeah. Was like the last time that I can remember a presidential election feeling
presidential.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. Feeling presidential.
Yeah.
Like even when Obama ran the second time against, what was that guy's name? I I don't know, some generic Republican guy.
Yeah.
When he ran against that guy, things started to feel like reality TV.
Yeah.
You know, I think that was like the first. That was like the first time that like people really started to like really dig for stuff for Obama. Like, he's not even really American, and like all this other random crap, right?
Yeah, he's born in Kenya.
Yeah. And it was like all this insane stuff, and I'm sure that's existed before, but I think like with Twitter being kind of like a new thing at that time, like social media just exploded. And so we're just exposed to so much more stuff, and I feel like information gets spread in seconds now, as like compared to like before in the past, before social media. It's like usually you would have to wait a couple days for like the newspapers and press to kind of like get a hold of it and like kind of tailor the story to whatever they're trying to push. And so you just have this like constant information flow going into you about both presidential candidates. Most of it from both sides is just straight up lies. Yeah. Just trying to like make the other person look bad. Right. And it's just like insane what the presidential debates are now.
Yeah. Right.
Like we just finished the debates. What is it? A week ago?
Yeah.
I think it was a week ago. And
Kamala versus Trump.
Yeah, so Kamala Harris versus Trump, which, first of all, like, we just got to address the fact that, like, Joe Biden was originally running, and there was this narrative that this guy was okay and, like, mentally there, right? And it was so crazy to me because, you know, like, as an American watching this, he wasn't okay when he got elected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you watch his speech, and his speech is like kind of just deteriorated into like nonsense. Yeah, halfway through the speech, and I've been saying this for so long, and there's been a lot of people I've talked to who's like, oh no, that's just Fox News and Joe Rogan like doctoring up stuff, and it's like,
no, you watch it.
You watch this guy's speeches. Is like, how is this okay? And then finally, like, it's like the narrative just switched overnight. Yeah. And then like people went from really hating Kamala Harris to really liking her. Yeah. And it was just so crazy to me, like how quickly everything happened. And like Trump's had 2 assassination attempts on him this presidency. Like we just had another one like a couple of days ago, which is crazy. And it's just like, it feels like we're not even living in real life now. Yeah,
it's almost like it's a reality TV show.
It really does.
Yeah, it was. So as an American, kind of very distant from this, because I try not to look at the presidential election too much because I don't want to get swayed too much. I just want to vote for who I think is the best candidate. Yeah. But it was so weird for me because I would see on Twitter, X, on Facebook, you know, people saying, Biden is great. Biden's going to save the country. Biden is going to save us from the orange man. Biden is a great president. And, you know, it was so weird because I have to wonder, like, how many of those people are actual people and how many of those are bots? Because you actually don't know anymore.
So that's the other crazy thing.
And it's the same thing with Trump, too. Because, like, you have people online equating Trump with Jesus. Like, he's going to save our country. And it's weird. But the weird thing was like everyone was like, Biden's great, Biden's fine, Biden's great, Biden's fine. And then suddenly after the debate, he was not fine and he left, and Kamala Harris. No, first it was, oh, he just had a bad time. It was just a bad day. It was sick. Past his bedtime. He's sick, whatever. And then
you always heard that.
And then it was weird because the day Kamala Harris became the nominee, like no one talked about Biden anymore, just saying, oh yeah, he was really too old. Just suddenly on like a flip of a coin. And then all of a sudden, Kamala's amazing. Kamala's going to be a great president. Kamala has great policies. I love Kamala. She's going to be such a great guy. Yeah. At least she's not orange man, you know? And it was just really weird because it's like the narrative changed and then all the voices changed suddenly.
Yeah. It is pretty crazy. Like just how much legacy media is just able to kind of control the narrative in the country. And I think that's something you really you don't see until you see a presidential election. You just don't understand like just how much everything's kind of controlled.
Yeah.
Until you see a presidential election and you're just like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Fox News, CNN, like,
yeah, you
guys really are just controlling the story for everything.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's weird for me because like, so again, like you were talking about Obama and stuff, how the last like kind of okay election was when Obama's first election. Yeah, Obama was really revolutionary in that he used social media big time to promote his campaign. He was one of the first people to do that.
Yep.
But now, like you said, you know, social media is becoming the main channel.
Yeah.
But the problem is that it creates echo chambers.
Oh,
so
100%.
that people only listen to the things that they want.
Yeah.
So you have these two people living these two different realities.
Yeah.
And it's so weird because I lean conservative, but I try to fight my biases, so I look at liberal stuff a lot too.
Yeah.
And first of all, they're saying completely different things. But then watching the two groups of people interact with each other.
Yeah.
It's like a French person and like a Greek person trying to talk to each
Italian.
other. Yeah. It's like they got angry at each other and they're yelling at each other in each other's language and no one understands, but because they're yelling, they get more angry.
Yeah.
Because like,
no, that's such a good way of putting it.
Yeah. Because it's like, someone's like, Trump is going to bring back America. Trump is a rapist. No, he's not. Yes, he is. No,
they're
he's
eating
not.
the dogs. Dude, James. Okay, so I want to talk about this.
Oh yeah, we got to. So first, talk about the news. That point. Yeah, the background.
All right. First of all, so like I said a few minutes ago, I watched the whole debate.
So the debate between Kamala and Trump.
Kamala and Trump, and some kind of quick notes that I really want to highlight. First of all, I do think that there's a conspiracy that Kamala knew the questions before the debate, and it kind of felt that way because they asked her some really loaded questions.
Yeah.
Like if I'm remembering this off the cuff, so it's not going to be an exact.
So if Austin makes a mistake, please forgive him.
Yeah,
it's okay.
But like one of the questions was like, hey, so do you think Trump's gonna like ruin the country if he gets elected? And it's like I said,
was that really a question?
That wasn't the exact question, but basically that question that was the thing. It's like, do you think that Trump like could recover the economy? And it's like, what do you think she's gonna say?
No,
obviously, right? Obviously. Like, hey, do you think your opponent is going to do a good job? No, he's going to do a bad job. Vote for me. Like, what the? Why are you asking her this? Like, it was so insane. And then they would turn around and ask Trump these ridiculous questions, which also, like, some negative things that I need to say about Trump was like, he just fell into the traps every time, man.
What kind of traps?
They've got that guy dialed in. So, like, Kamala knows exactly what to say to get under his skin.
Because and he focuses on that one point instead of the real debate.
So like she made a comment. I want to say this was like halfway through the debate. And she made a comment saying like,
his rallies.
Oh, if you want to know about his rallies, just go to them. Like they're not interesting. He just says the same thing. And you could tell that upset him. Yeah. Right? Because Trump
rallies, I have the biggest rallies in the country. They are the best rallies.
He's lost his mind. Like, if there's one thing anybody, regardless if you like or hate Trump, you will notice about him right off the bat is the man is obsessed with himself. Yeah. And if you say he's boring, you might as well have just insulted his mom. Yeah, right. Right? Yeah. That is like the most offensive thing you could possibly say to him. Yeah. Like you could say he's an idiot, he doesn't care, you could say whatever, but if you call him boring, oh my God. Yeah.
And then he just focuses on that
and
for too long.
He just went off the rails after that. Like he started talking. So to give a little bit of backstory on what he said that like immigrants are coming in and eating dogs.
Oh yeah, eating dogs. Cats and dogs.
Everyone's eating the pets. So to give a little backstory, right? So in Springfield, Ohio, which is, if you don't know this place,
I didn't know this place
that's
until
probably correct because it's the middle of nowhere. Yeah, and I don't even think people in Ohio know this place.
Have you driven through Ohio before?
No, it's who goes to Ohio?
So
Mormons, right? That's it.
I just want to say this. So I have friends who live in Kentucky, which is on the southern border of Ohio.
Yeah.
And when you drive through Boston to get there, you drive through Pennsylvania, get into Ohio, and then you drive south.
Yeah.
And first of all, Pennsylvania has the most boring highway I've ever seen. It's just straight for 300 miles.
Yeah.
It's terrible. And then, but when you get into Ohio, it's like you get into corn land because there's cornfields everywhere. Like cornfield. Columbus, Ohio. Okay, you take a left and you go down south. Cornfield. Oh, there's a silo. There's another cornfield. Cincinnati.
Yeah.
It's just corn.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyways, so Springfield, Ohio, middle of nowhere. Honestly, if you told me that this place existed, I wouldn't even have a reaction.
Fun fact, though, there's a Springfield in every state.
Oh, I think I learned that because of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
But they confirmed that The Simpsons are in Oregon.
Oh, The Simpsons are in Oregon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're in Springfield, Oregon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fun little small fact. Anyways, so Springfield, Ohio has a population of 40,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
And to give you the demographics of these people, they're all poor working class people.
Mainly white people, right?
Yeah, but there's like a pretty significant population of like black and Hispanic
okay. I thought it was mainly white people.
It's not just white people.
Okay.
Anyways, so during the Biden administration, they basically allowed refugees from Haiti because there's a lot of I think there's like a civil war going on in Haiti right now. I'm not really too familiar with
there's a lot of problems in Haiti.
It's a really dangerous place to live, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, we're interrupting this awesome podcast with the two of us to tell you about a really special thing. It's called the Austin&Arthur Friends.
In the Austin&Arthur Friends, you're going to get this video with English and Japanese subtitles. 日本語と英語の字幕両方ついている動画もゲットできるんですね。You can also get a PDF script so you can read along with it. You'll get the video, the long conversation in separate videos, so it's easier for you to watch as well. You'll also get access to a 会員限定 online community and also opportunities to talk directly with me and Austin.
Yeah, because we're really fun to talk to.
Well, I am. Austin's really boring.
That's a lie. It's the opposite.
He's correct. I'm the boring one.
All right. Bye, guys.
See ya.
And the Biden administration has accepted 20,000 refugees from Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't explicitly tell them to go to Springfield, but if
they all ended up there.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes sense, right? Like if you're a person who's fleeing to another country and many of these people can't speak English. They speak like Haitian, and I think the closest thing to Haitian is like French.
Yeah, they speak patois, which is like a
it's like
a French Haitian Creole kind of thing.
Yeah. Right? So many of these people can't speak English, and it just logically makes sense that they would want to live with each other.
Yeah, right.
It's like, oh yeah, of course.
All immigrants do that.
Yeah, I'm Haitian. I want to live with other Haitian people because it's familiar to me.
Yeah.
Like it just makes sense, right? Anyways, so some people from Haiti started living in Springfield, and then because they lived there, more and more people. And so 20,000 people moved into this town.
20,000 Haitians.
20,000 Haitians moved into this town.
Of 40,000.
Of 40,000. Yeah. So the town has increased by 50% in population.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you can really visualize, but that's an insane increase in population.
Yeah, 50% foreign. Like imagine if like 30 million foreigners, was it 10 million foreigners just suddenly came to Tokyo?
Yeah.
It'd be similar.
Yeah. I the closest thing I could put it is like, if you remember like the Rugby World Cup, right before, right back in 2019.
Yeah.
If that was just daily life.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, or it's just like you see foreigners like everywhere. Yeah. So obviously that was really disruptive to the people living there.
Yeah.
These people are very different from the poor working class Americans that live there. They're black.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know if you know, like, obviously is a little bit of a problem. Yeah. Especially to like poor white people.
Yeah. Right.
Right. And so a lot of basically the thing is like they're saying that these people coming in are eating everyone's pets.
Yeah. So just give a little bit of background about this. So in Haiti, a lot of people in Haiti they practice voodoo.
Yeah.
Which is a type of like magic, like shaman magic. And to be fair, they do eat cats in Haiti.
Okay.
That's a fact. They do that, not all the time, sometimes for rituals and stuff. But that's kind of the background, I think, that started these rumors.
Okay. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to comment on that.
Okay.
But anyways, so the claim is like these people are coming in and getting free houses and eating everyone's pets.
Yeah. And there were a couple of people who talked to like the city council at Springfield saying they're eating people's pets.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of like news reports and like people doing investigative journalism going in. Like I've been really interested in this topic, so I've been watching a lot of the channels. Basically, it's all BS.
It's funny because
oh, go ahead.
No, so because I was using, I actually I've gotten rid of Twitter from my phone because it was just taking too much of my energy. But like before that, I quit Twitter right around this thing happened.
Yeah.
And it was so weird because I started seeing posts about cats and Haitians, looking at it, and people saying like, oh yeah, Haitians are moving into America and eating people's cats. And other people are like, this is bullshit. That's not true.
Yeah.
And they said, here's video evidence. And so they show a video of like the cops going up to this black woman. She's saying she ate a cat or something.
Yeah. Do you know? Okay.
But I looked into the background because I'm like, holy crap, if this is real, this is amazing. So I looked into it. And it's just like a regular American citizen.
She's an drugs. American woman that immigrated here from South Africa.
Yeah, and she was on drugs at the time too.
Yeah, she was on like meth or bath salts or something crazy right that. And like it just makes sense, right? If you're a Haitian, right, and you're getting assistance from the government, so you have money, would you rather hunt down someone's pet or go to McDonald's?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make any logical sense.
Yeah.
But anyway, so like Trump went on for like a long time during the debates about how like this is such an issue, and it just made him look like such a clown.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he brought up a really good point that I wish that he mentioned during the debates, but he mentioned it like at a rally like after it, because I've been watching both his and Kamala's rallies. And he brought up that the real issue is you have 20,000 refugees who have no connection to American culture that are suddenly thrust upon a town.
Yeah.
And whether or not like you want to get into the politics of protecting refugees from another country, like that's a whole nother thing. But he brought up a point of why are we as Americans helping people from another country before we help the people in this town?
Yeah.
Because there's people in this town who are like really, really poor. Right. And it's not unique to this town. There's a lot of poverty in America. And it's like, why are we spending all this money helping people from other countries before like we help
it's
Americans?
Like, it's like some months ago, they talked about the immigrant crisis in New York City. And you had someone saying, I'm homeless. Why don't they give me the money?
Yeah.
Why are they?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's an issue. He brought up the fact that like a lot of immigrants came into America, and this was allowed under the Biden administration, but also like the Biden administration was like complaining about all these problems that kind of got started because all these immigrants are coming into these small communities.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, he brought up the point, it's like, okay, well, you guys kind of created your own problem here. And I really wish that was addressed.
He would have said it in the debate, but he was too busy talking about how he was boring.
Like, what are you talking about?
My rallies are the best rallies.
The best rallies. And, they're eating the cats and dogs. Yeah. He always does the thing with his hands. They're eating the cats and dogs.
Yeah.
That's going to be our thumbnail right here.
Eating the cats and dogs.
Eating the cats and dogs.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to protect them.
Yeah. But for me, so like, So going back to like the eating cats and dogs thing, because this ties into what I wanted to talk about echo chambers before.
Yeah.
Is, it was so weird because like you had that video and people saying this is video evidence of a woman who's eating a cat, even though she's like an American citizen who is not connected to Haiti at all. And then other people were like, what about this picture? And there was a guy who had like a goose in his hand or something.
Yeah.
He's like, well, he was from South Africa.
Yeah.
And then I saw another photo. I saw another video of people like taking a cat and actually like it was dead already, but they were like roasting it over like a kitchen countertop, whatever. But that was filmed in like Turkey.
Yeah.
That wasn't even America, you know?
Oh,
but what's weird is that these people take these little sound bites and it's because it's what they want to believe. They just go with it and they spread it on social
like
media.
Wildfire, man.
Yeah. And so you have all these kinds of like lies being spread about both candidates, and it's so confusing. Like all this information.
Yeah.
And it's just really tiring now.
Yeah.
You know, one thing though I think is really another thing that I think is really sad, and this isn't something that's necessarily recent. I feel like this has been part of America for a while, but people treat the president of the United States like he is the leader of our country.
Yeah.
But technically, according to the law, he is not the leader of our country. He's one of the checks and balances.
Yeah.
But people gravitate towards a king,
I
guess, and they want to have a king.
Yeah.
And so people are talking about, he's the representative of our country. He is going to lead us. But he actually doesn't have a ton of... He has certain powers in certain areas, but like...
Yeah. I mean, he's the one that keeps... Well, I mean, you already mentioned this with checks and balances, but he's the one that keeps like the House of Representatives and everyone in check.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, it makes it so you don't have like the Senate controlling America.
Yeah, right.
It's like, if something happens, then, he can step in, or he or she, whoever the president is, can step in and, stop it or push something, right? Yeah. But it's like people really do want a king, and like it's just so crazy to me because like I said, I don't know. I don't live in other countries other than Japan and the US. And I don't know how the elections are in those countries, but it really feels like it's so crazy living here in Japan and then looking at politics in America.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same way? It's like it's such like a complete opposite of how things, because like Japan's got its own, controversies and problems in politics too. Like you have Japan's got a really high percentage of politicians that get assassinated. Yeah. There's a lot of like controversies all over in the news about, some politician embezzling money or sleeping with prostitutes or doing some other bad stuff here. Like, it's not like all of the politicians here are perfectly normal and clean, but the atmosphere and the way that things are presented is so different.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing that I think I want a lot of people to understand about the president of the presidential election, why actually I'm not really keen on voting so much anymore. I mean, I know voting is nice, but the thing is, so behind the president is a bunch of, so the president is the head of the executive branch of the government,
Here we go. We get in the conspiracy. We're going to talk about the shadow council.
Yeah, we are. We're going to talk about that. The military industrial complex. Yeah. But like, so the president changes.
That'd be a good episode.
But that would be a good episode. But the organizations behind him don't change. And so like the president changes, the face changes, but the organizations of unelected leaders chosen internally, they're still there. So they actually don't really have much say. Yeah. And if you do try to change it, you end up getting whacked. Yeah. Yeah. So the president himself, he doesn't really have very much power. Like, so everybody watching this, maybe you don't care so much, but I would really encourage everybody to watch President Eisenhower's farewell address. So when he was leaving the presidency, he talks about how the military industrial complex that runs America is becoming very strong. Yeah. If we want to have a free country, we need to stop that. And that was 70 years ago.
Oh man.
You see that video, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I really want to do an episode about the military industrial complex, dude. We could just go down the rabbit hole so deep.
Yeah, man.
And I don't know. Tell us in the comments if you guys would be interested in that topic. Yeah. Because there's a lot of really crazy conspiracies that just show like how much control America has over the entire world. and it's because of like all these private military companies kind of controlling everything.
Dude, I know this is kind of getting off topic and we're almost out of time, but so on Twitter before I got riveted on my phone, I was scrolling through and I found the most ridiculous thing, which is they were talking about how cows used to wear cowbells and how churches used to have church bells because the bells were seen to ward off bad spirits, but actually what they are is if the bell is at the right frequency, it'll disrupt the lizard people's disguise. So like if the bell starts ringing, they won't be able to keep their costume on. The lizard people hate that. And I thought it was a joke. And then I looked at the comments and people said, that's why they got rid of all the church bells. And that's why the cows don't wear bells anymore. I carry, and then another guy's like, I carry a bell with me that I put on me just in case. I mean, need to make sure it's the right frequency.
Dude, crazy people exist, man. If you look at our YouTube comments, we get some crazy.
We do too.
Yeah, like we got a lot of pushback on the flat Earth.
Dude, it is. Yeah. Someone was like, "You guys just don't know enough." Some guy wrote
like a whole novel on our.
But it's just like lizard people's disguises getting disrupted by cowbells.
There you go.
Sorry. So we can get into that. If you guys want to hear more about these conspiracy theories, just let us know, okay? Any closing remarks on the
it's so crazy that we're gonna have a new president soon, and like honestly, I keep going back and forth on who I think is gonna actually win the election. Like if you asked me right after the debate, I would have said like obviously Kamala.
Yeah,
like she just dominated that debate.
Yeah,
in such a way that I almost kind of felt bad for Trump.
Yeah,
and if you asked me before the debate, I would have said Trump by a landslide. Yeah. Now I'm kind of not.
Yeah, well, now Trump has another assassination attempt on him, so like.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Conspiracy Austin right here. that the latest assassination attempt just there was a lot of like weird stuff about that guy.
Yeah.
If you look at that guy's background, because he fought in Ukraine.
Okay.
And did a lot of really shady stuff. So it's kind of like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Well, I think that's more appropriate for another episode. We could talk about that.
Yeah.
Anyways, man, what are we going to talk about next time?
We're going to talk about something disgusting.
We're going to talk about everyone's favorite food, Austin's favorite food.
Natto.
Natto. Natto.
Yeah. I hate natto.
I'm going to make you eat natto.
No. No, you won't.